Mangia mia cousina. What am I doing today? I have this recipe. It's an Italian kind of a pretzel that I used to sell it at my store, and everybody loved it, and I kind of been craving, and I had bought olive oil just to make it, and I keep putting it off, and today I have some time, so I'm gonna do 2 different recipes. In here I have 10 cups. In each bowl I have 10 cups of all-purpose flour. I have 2 tablespoons of salt, a tablespoon and a half of chili flakes or pepper flakes. This one's going to be a little spicy. 2 tablespoons of granulated garlic, and then I have a cup and a half of, this is flavored olive oil. It's jalapeno flavored olive oil. This is the olive oil that we used to sell in our store. I gotta have some on hand all the time, but I bought it this specific to make these recipes. So this one is gonna be garlic and jalapeno flavored olive oil, and I'm gonna add, and you wanna add dry stuff, because I could have cut the jalapeno, but you want it dry because you don't, this pretzel kind of is very dry, and if you put the jalapeno, it would be wet, it wouldn't dry. So anyway, so this is the spicy one. This one here is their flavored olive oil, but any olive oil. This is the basic recipe that you see when you see this pretzel kind of cookie. This is what usually you would see, is just any good olive oil. This is where you want to splurge in a good flavored olive oil. This one is just plain olive oil. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of flaky onion, and then I have here fennel, the seeds. I toast the seeds, and then I put it in my mill and crushed it into little pieces. You still have a little bit of the fennel, but most of it's grounded. And then 2 tablespoons of salt. And that's where we're gonna start with this one. You just add everything to the flour. This is a good snack kind of cookie, and I like it because it has no sugar and it's healthy. It's made with olive oil and white wine. I bought the box wine because it's less expensive, and it's easier. One box will be enough for these both recipes. So, and then this one, I'm gonna add the salt, the flakes. I've had some of my customers ask me for this, but with this kind of product, you can't put it in it can't last very long because it has a lot of olive oil, and if it's not, if it doesn't go that fast, it can get rancid. So I don't make it quite as often, but I know some of my customers my old customers have been asking for. So okay. So in here, I'm gonna pour my olive oil, and then I want 2 cups and a half of white wine. And so we're gonna fill up, this is a 2 cup, so I'm gonna fill up 2 cups and then and a half. So, like I said, I used to make different flavors. I had other flavors that I used to make, and it would go. And I kind of been thinking about this because it is a good kind of a snack to have. And when you eat one, you don't just eat one. So I'm gonna get another 2 cups for that other one. So I'm gonna pour the olive oil. This is 2 cups. And I need another half. And sometimes you might even have to add more wine, depending the flour. So, what else can you go wrong? Wine, olive oil. Can't go wrong with this. Oh, this one is a little bit more than half a cup. So now we just mix all this. And we mix it and let it sit for a little bit for those flavors. And then we roll it into a little round, almost like a pretzel, little round cookie. So anyway, and then you bake it and you keep it in a tight container. I have already a video with this recipe. I think in my video I only made 1 flavor, but you can do whatever flavors you want. The Italian, this is the basic, most of their flavor they have. It's the one with the fennel. But I did rosemary, I did basil, because you can get those cold pressed olive oil with those flavors. And that's why we sold flavored olive oils. I'm gonna put a little bit more wine. You don't want a stiff dough, but you want a dough that you're going to be able to roll. And then it's gonna sit here and that flour is gonna absorb all that wine. So, anyway, so they crush the olives and they crush the fresh jalapenos. So you smell the jalapeno, you smell the fresh basil. When most olive oils, they eat up the olive oil and then they put, or the garlic or whatever flavor. So you kind of killing some of that good nutrients in the oil. But this one you don't, there's no heat. This is a local olive oil, and we used to sell it in my store. That's how we started with the De Castro family olive oil. So, anyway, so this looks like it's a good consistency, see? And I'm gonna let this sit here, and as I absorb all those flavors, then we're gonna roll it. Okay, friends, now it's time to start shaping the pretzels, or the tarallis. That's what they're called, tarallis. I'm gonna put this in here, and I'm gonna roll a little bit, because it's still a little damp. And then you make whatever size you want. Because these are more like a snack, so you want them small, but then you don't want them too small, because then you'll be here all day rolling. And that's why you kind of want them soft so you can roll them. Also have a pot with water in the back. That we're gonna boil these. You boil them before you bake them. That's what makes a pretzel. A pretzel is boiled first. That's why I call them a pretzel-like, because they're boiled. So, anyway. But these can be used for, even instead of chips, you can use them with dips. I like them just plain. They're delicious to put it in a charcuterie board with with some cheese and a glass of wine and some fruit, you make a delicious meal. So you want them, and then you kind of make it like a circle. That's what it is. Everybody makes it different. Or like an E, a small E. So anyway, I'm gonna roll all this, and then once they're rolled, then I'm gonna boil them, and then we bake them, and I'll show you. Okay friends, my water is boiling, and now I need to add some baking soda to my water, about a tablespoon. Go slow because it can overflow. And then here's my tarallis, and now we just drop them in there until they float. They will float to the top. Once they float to the top, you remove them to a cookie sheet that I have a rack, and we're gonna drain some of that water. So it takes a few steps, but the results, they are delicious. It's like I said, if you make it, you'll be addicted. I was eating this all the time. Instead of chips and other stuff, I would eat this stuff. So now I put parchment paper, and once they float to the top, I have a rack here. And sometimes you need to go with and kind of help them out because they get stuck in the bottom. So, and they'll float to the top. Once they float to the top, they're done. So, anyway. And here they go. And you don't want to leave them there too long, because then the flour start breaking down and they become gummy. So if they take too long to float, go help them, because they might be stuck to the bottom. Okay. I have my oven preheated at 350, and then once these are done, you bake them for about 35-40 minutes at 350, and then they're done. If you want them crunchy, because I like mine crunchy, so what I do is, after I take them out after 30 minutes, I put them in near the bottom oven. I put the oven at 250, and I put them all in there to kind of dry them out. Take all the moisture from the inside, so they'll stay crispy and they'll last longer. I am done baking my tarallis, my Italian pretzels. These are the peppers, these are the fennel and onion. I baked them, and now I'm going to keep them in the oven at 250 for a couple hours. And what it is they're still soft, they're chewy inside. And I like them crispy. They need to be crispy. So I like leave them on low for them to crisp up. This is, like I said, it's ideal. Once it's done, you put it in a container, in a jar, and it stays fresh for a long time if you keep it away from the sun in a dark place. But this is so good with, you know, as an appetizer or just a little snack. They're delicious. Anyway, I hope you give it a try. try something like this, something different. It's not something I mean, my family, most of my friends never tried this. It's just when I had the olive oil store, I wanted to use different things that I could sell using the olive oil, and this is how I came out. I found this and I made it. So anyway, give it a try to this recipe. I leave the recipe in the description, and it will be very easy to make, because like I said, this is half of the recipe. One whole recipe was this, but this is, I made just half. And that's what I'll put in the description, because this is enough for half, for one person. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. Give me some thumbs up. Share my videos on your social media and with your friends. Until next time, let's get cooking. Have a good day.